Hi, this is Keto for Weight Loss, my 71-pound transformation. How I adapted to fit my life and finally made it sustainable. Most people think keto means 70% fat, but that's only half the story. In this video, I'll show you the difference between medical keto and weight loss keto, how I lost 71 pounds, and what finally made it sustainable for me. You've probably heard keto described as 70% fat, 20% protein, and 10% carbs. And that's true, in a way. Those numbers actually come from the medical version of keto, which was originally created to help people with epilepsy. The goal there wasn't weight loss. It was to get the body into a specific metabolic state that reduced seizures. When people do keto for weight loss, those macros are usually adjusted. Most modern weight loss keto plans aren't exactly 70-20-10. They might be more like 60% fat, 25 to 30% protein, and a bit higher in carbs, depending on the person. The key is to stay low enough in the carbs to keep your body in ketosis, but also to make sure that your protein and calories fit your goals. Years ago, I started using strict keto to help my husband with his seizures. At the time, I was searching for options beyond medication, and I came across research from Johns Hopkins showing that a very high-fat, low-carb diet could dramatically reduce seizure activity. So I dug into the details, and I figured out how to adapt it to our vegan lifestyle, and he committed to following it closely. Well, what happened was, within 3 months, his seizures were cut in half, and by 6 months, he was seizure-free. His neurologist and nutritionist at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle even asked me how I made it work, especially since we were doing it vegan, right? They said that most people never follow the diet strictly enough to see any kind of results, but he did, thanks to my program. 1 year ago, I realized keto was for me, and I started my keto journey using the same medical macros. In 3 weeks, I dropped 21 pounds. But after 6 months, I stalled, despite the fact that I was eating 1,300 calories a day. What I didn't realize at the time is that my body had adapted. When you eat too few calories for too long, your metabolism slows down to conserve energy. That's why weight loss can come to a halt, even if you're doing everything right. On keto especially, sticking to strict medical macros, 70% fat, very low carbs, and only moderate protein, can actually make it harder to lose weight long term. My body needed a different balance to keep progressing. To break through, I shifted to weight loss keto. 55% fat, 25% protein, and 20% carbs. With 1,500 calories a day, I realized my body needed more protein to support muscle and boost metabolism, and a slightly higher calorie intake to prevent metabolic slowdown. The adjusted fat ratio made it easier to burn stored fat instead of being stuck in survival mode. That combination fully worked. My weight started dropping again, and I felt stronger and more energetic while losing. Then came the leg cramps, which hit me hard late at night or early in the morning. At first, I didn't understand why. They showed up even though I was eating right and staying consistent. But I eventually learned that keto changes how your body handles fluids and minerals. While carbs are low, your insulin levels drop. That causes your kidneys to flush out more sodium and water. And along with sodium, you can also lose potassium and magnesium, which are key electrolytes. Your muscles need those to function. So, without enough of them, cramps are almost always inevitable. But once I started adding all three, sodium, potassium, and magnesium, everything leveled out. The cramps went away, and my energy came back. About 9 weeks ago, after losing 50 pounds, I finally felt strong enough to start exercising. It was funny. I lost those first 50 pounds before I even got off the couch. Well, aside from walking my dog. But the point is this. You don't need a strenuous plan to get started. Slow and steady wins the race. And since then, my shoulder, which had been frozen and painful, has grown stronger, and I no longer experience impingement. I can now do a modified push-up, something I couldn't even attempt when I was first starting out. I've also built up to a 15 full minutes of step aerobics without stopping. I sweat a lot, but I can keep going, and it feels amazing to see my strength and my endurance improving. Now I'm down 71 pounds and weigh 174. And the best part, it's sustainable because I've adapted keto to fit my lifestyle, not the other way around. I'm close to maintenance now, and I'm excited to keep learning and sharing what works along the way. If you want to take a deeper dive, check out my Spark Plan. It's designed to help you build habits that stick. And if you know anybody that can benefit from this information, please be sure and share it with them. This is my personal unique experience, not medical advice. Always check with your doctor before making any changes. And if this video has helped you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And remember, keep finding your spark.